So I've been following a lot of these revelations about Hillary Clinton over the last, oh God, I can't even remember how long it's been now. It's been months, it feels like. But the closer we get to the third and final debate, and consequently after that, the election itself, more and more and more and more information is coming out about the leaks. In the most recent dump, there's a reference to a so-called shadow government. Um, there was a powerful group of very high-ranking state officials that some refer to as the Seventh Floor Group or the shadow government. This group met every Wednesday afternoon to discuss the FOIA, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act process, congressional records, and everything Clinton related to FOIA congressional inquiries. The known regular attendees included Jonathan Feiner, Chief of Staff for Secretary of State John Kerry, Jennifer Stout, Deputy Chief of Staff Heather Higginbottom, Deputy Secretary of State for Management and Resources Kennedy Julia Freefield, Assistant Secretary Legislative Affairs, Office of the Legal Advisor overseeing states. So there's let's see. We're just going to kind of go through some of this stuff, and I'm going to rant because, I'm just so fucking sick of this, man. It's just like, okay, well, they archived that, but what's this? Let's see what this is. Ooh, all right. This is a vault of, let's see. Fuck it. Okay, so this is investigation stuff. Okay. So, yeah, because I like this quote. It's like, I'm not sure why some people dismiss the notion of people privately planning as a conspiracy theory. That's the whole point. It's a concerted effort to orchestrate on a global scale active efforts to suppress and silence the American people. This is exactly what they're doing, and this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because, as they say, you either use it or you lose it. And that's not just referring to my dick, it's referring to my rights as an American citizen. Yeah. So, something to consider. This is a great picture. I love this picture. I've seen it several times before. When you zoom in on it, it's got a big-ass list of individuals who are part of the Bilderberg Group. Let's take a random name on here. Peter Sutherland. Irish international businessman and former Attorney General of Ireland. Okay. So he's got some interest somewhere. At the UN envoy. So in the bottom right are, like, I guess, official U.S. Departments and offices. And then the more up you go, we get to other governments and other it looks like outside of the U.S., but they're like U.S. interests, like Iraq and stuff like that. And up top we got like the World Economic Forum, Hudson's Institute, Brookings, Business Council, and yeah, so it's like you start to get into like economic and business and finance, and then you get down to, oh, here we go, Skull and Bones. This is where you got like fraternities. This is where the intersection is. It's the frat bros things from like college and shit, where a lot of these people probably were networking and have stayed networked for a very long time. And as a result, from those networkings in college, so countless businesses have popped up that they are involved in, such as McDonald's and Staples and FedEx and Sara Lee and Xerox and Microsoft. Oh God, Microsoft and Apple and Walmart and Raytheon. And the funny thing is, I'm actually involved in some of these. Actually, have touched some of these inadvertently on my side of the spec. I've actually interviewed with Google. I've interviewed with Apple. A friend of mine worked for Raytheon, actually still does. He's a cybersecurity chief. He's a senior cybersecurity chief, and he works for Raytheon. So technically, he's in on it. So, but I mean, he's got 2 kids, he's got a wife. It's a lot like myself. The important thing is that you have to consider that a lot of these people are doing what they're doing because they have families, and they've had to do what they need to do in order to keep the gears moving to provide for those families. As unfortunate of a reality as that is, and as unfortunate of a reality as my reality is, I do not have a family of my own to provide for. This is another reason why I get to do what I'm doing right now, and why I'm going to push the ever-loving shit out of it, because, again, we're supposed to have the best fucking healthcare in the United States, and I don't know why my hand is like it is. So, fuck all of you. I'm gonna keep reading WikiLeaks shit. Fuck you too, Disney and the New York Times. So, let's keep going. Now, I just don't understand why it's the Jews, though. Like, even if, when I say why it's the Jews, it's like, okay, let's say it is the Jews. Like, what on a genetic timeline or, like, mainstay constitutes or is responsible for, how should I say, the genetic mechanisms by which the Jewish mind operates. It's a good question to have. I have a copy of Mein Kampf. That's a actual rare copy that I've been meaning to read. And I don't really think of myself as a racist. I judge individuals based on their own merit. It's always very easy to, broadly declare a group of people as a problem. But how do you define a problem? How do you verify the assertion that there is a problem? Now, it's kind of ironic that someone posts this, of all fucking songs, but at the same time, a lot of the people that I roll with are in the same, how should I say, demographic as myself. What do you mean by that, Mike? Well, I'll show you. Actually, this is a good opportunity to just pick it up. Let's see if I can't aim it directly. Actually, there we go. Yeah, I'm a pretty fucking big Ava fanboy. Um, actually, I'm unashamed in my love for Evangelion. Um, it is one of my favorite shows. For a lot of reasons that are unrelated to the topic of this video, but I digress.